Today on PTL, Team Liquid takes on Duo Q. Jensen bodies some fools. And we count down the biggest plays from IEM. Don't touch that browser! Primetime League starts right now! Hello and welcome back to Primetime League. It's been too long. The gravitational waves of the LOL esports world have brought you back. I am Rivington Bislin III. He is David Freak Turley, and we're ready to go. And we're down to earth for this one. We're ready to dive into our final 2 weeks, the LCS regular split here in the spring season. It's going to be so much fun. It's gone way too fast, but we've had a lot of fun. Yes, that's why. Before we get into what the future holds for the LCS, let's take a quick peek back at the IEM Season 10 World Championship, where the LCK's 7th place team destroyed the rest of the field to earn yet another championship for Korea. Who's surprised that a Korean team crushed a bunch of people in a tournament? Yeah, SKT dominated, man. Their KDA was above 9. They didn't lose a Baron or inhibitor all tournament long, or even a game. Shocking that one. And this is slumping SKT, right? This is SKT, who are technically in 7th, which is kind of a misnomer because they haven't played as many games as other teams. But honestly, after you win Worlds, you're supposed to suck the rest of the year. SKT may be trying to break that trend here. Yeah. You say this is slumping SKT. This is more like, ha ha ha, just kidding, SKT. Mean, to be fair, they still have to make up a lot of ground to be the #1 team in Korea again, so we'll see if they can improve that. That's true. It'll just make them stronger once they get there, right? That's true. So while SKT winning the championship shocked no one, Fnatic making it to the final certainly did. After an inconsistent spring split, this has to give Fnatic fans hope heading into the final weeks of the spring split. Well, it's the prophecy, Riv. It's the European LCS. Everyone beats everyone, and in the end, Fnatic wins. So Fnatic, congratulations on your spring split title. I'm calling it now. They lost 6 games to give their haters false hope, but Fnatic, of course, they are back. Honestly, it was a really good run by them. Very, very good games. We saw them play a couple different styles. They let Spirit carry. And massive props to Fnatic playing, honestly, quite well to get 2nd place when they weren't expected to. All right, so looking at this, Korea is still strong. Europe is stronger than we think. And heading towards MSI, what is your take on kind of, if you could throw some thoughts out there, the regional kind of performance of the teams going in from IEM? I'm going to go in increasing order of skill. So LPL are disappointing, shocking that. They actually had their best 2 teams go. And they had 1 semifinalist and 1 team drop out of groups. Not really great overall. NA kind of mixed. Right, TSM did pretty well, top 4. Okay, not bad. CLG crashed and burned. We'll see which team actually goes to MSI. I think it's probably still Immortals, and they probably look a lot better on a national stage. EU getting even better, right? We took Fnatic and Origin. There's 4 teams above those guys in the standings, and that was already a team in the final. So EU looking really good. No LMS there is interesting because I think AHQ could go as far as the finals at MSI. I'm really excited to see what their kind of swap strategy for Meta now can do to the world. I mean, AHQ is super strong. And then Korea, we haven't even seen their final form. Oh my God, are ROX Tigers good? Yeah. It's ridiculous how much better they are than SKT. And it's not and no one's ready for this. It's not the season where they've had a part where either they slump to and they just take a hit. This is the time it's straight up for them. I think it's just straight up for ROX Tigers. They're insane. It's been crazy. And with the regional champs representing at MSI, as we were saying, the final 2 weeks of the LCS spring split will determine which team gets to try and end Korea's dominance. The chances of that team being H2K have gotten a lot better recently, based on some great news out of the Hellenic Republic. According to H2K's Facebook and Twitter accounts, Forgiven has been granted a temporary deferment of military service by his home country of Greece. And that is a huge thing for H2K because Forgiven is an absolute monster as an individual player. He has more minion kills in 10 minutes than any other European LCS AD carry. He is #2 in KDA, and he's honestly just improving all around as a player. His stats are super strong. Of course, he's the #1 team, so are you really surprised? But H2K are the real deal. This lineup is good, Forgiven's amazing, and this team could definitely win Europe. I'm really ready to see what they can do. As you mentioned, Forgiven is widely regarded as one of the most mechanically skilled players in League, and you add that to his almost inhumane reflexes, you get one of the best AD carries in the league. But is he the best in the LCS? We posed that question to you via Twitter, and by far was the winner. By far.
And when you add the yes answers to the by far selections, more than 2/3 of LCS fans believe Forgiven is the best in his role, despite Jankos' claim that the team is carrying him and Kasing's right and vote for Hjarnet. So where do I think Forgiven ranks?
Yeah, where do you think?
I actually think Forgiven is definitely in the top 3. The only reason I would put someone like Bang ahead of him is due to international experience.
Oh, sure.
Due to the pressure of a stage, being able to overcome jitters or kind of even have such a relaxed mentality on a stage like that is, I think, what puts Bang ahead of what Forgiven has. But the mechanical skill, I think, is actually on that level.
I think, yeah, if you're going to equate him to other big international AD carries, you got to see him play at Worlds at MSI first. So I don't think you can put him in the super top echelon until you see that. As far as European AD carries go, I think, yeah, you can probably give that to Forgiven as #1. But still, Emperor is super good. Hjarnet is very good. These guys are all tied for first as well. And I think you start getting into playoffs and you start to really figure out who that is.
I like the fact that he's kind of got the I care, but I'll still do what I need to do to win the game mentality. And I think having an AD carry that will choose to do his own things in certain situations is the one you kind of need.
I definitely agree. As long as they're properly controlled, you need someone who's going to be super aggressive at times. And being dynamic like that is a really big deal.
As a support, that is my job.
Absolutely.
I will save you. So while H2K will have their full roster on the Rift this week, Origen will have to make do with some scrub named Peke.
Ugh. Yeah, right. Who even is this guy? And it's funny because Origen was best when they had Xpeke. Peke, right, for those who don't know, he was the old mid laner for Origen. They got top 4 at Worlds with Xpeke.
I feel like he has a certain kind of like high effect when he's on the team.
Right, you know what I mean? He won Worlds back in Season 1. Like, Peke is one of the all-time greats of League of Legends, for sure. But the problem is he's spending a bunch of time managing the team, right? That's why they got Power of Evil. Peke's running the team.
Right.
So maybe he can pull a Reginald and like fill in for Bjergsen, as it were.
With many coaches.
And do fine. I mean, Paragon was not that, but we'll see, honestly. There is a chance that this works out just great, but I feel like Peke's probably going to be rusty. But hey,
bring out the
anything's better than this Origen right here.
Bring out the bird. Yeah. Bird is the word. He'll be fine.
That's true.
Just clear waves. So while OG hopes to backdoor their way into the postseason over in North America, despite being eliminated from the spring playoffs, the Renegades have overhauled their roster. Check it out. Renegades made a plethora of moves during the IEM hiatus. Renegades added their super sub top laner Seraph, a mid laner Ninja, and the Renegades simultaneously dropped Alex Each, Flares, and RF Legendary from their roster to make room on the Rift. So a lot of changes all at once, hoping to kind of find some wins here at the end of the split.
Right, exactly. They're in 10th. They're 2 games behind 9th. So we'll talk about the roster changes here. Start with the top lane. Seraph in for Flares or RF. This should be an upgrade. Seraph has been very good when he's been in the LCS. Last year when he was on TDK, he had some solo carried games. His split pushing was super strong. He's still more of a carry type top lane type of champions he players are going to be like Graves and Lissandra and this kind of stuff. This should be better. He's a playmaker, and they need some dynamism here on Renegades. This honestly just should be an upgrade, and Seraph should do well here.
We'll see. It gives the team a bump at the end of the split there, a little bit of vigor and vitality, if you will, as they move on. So while one Seraph is greater than 2 former Renegades top laners, the Ninja Alex Each swap is less of a certainty as we look at it. Even though Alex Each's skills are declining, Ninja hasn't played in the LCS or the Challenger Series this year, and is really more of an unknown.
And this is a big risk, honestly, because Alex Each just played last night, actually, at least, you know, I should say Tuesday night, I suppose, in North America. For TDK, actually did a really good job for them when he came over to that roster. Ninja, yeah, he was suspended until basically this weekend when he's going to be eligible again. He was good last year, honestly, on Team Dragon Knights in the LCS. He's, again, much like Seraph, a very aggressive player. He will take some big risks. Those can backfire. We could see Ninja completely screw things up by going in when he shouldn't. But on average, he is a very strong player. We do expect to see good things out of him. And overall, the whole point for this roster is that Renegades thinks they have found some better players with better playmaking that can maybe climb them out of the bottom of the standings. They're sitting in 10th. They're 2 games behind Dignitas. They play Echo Fox and Impulse at the end of week 9, so they can find 2 wins here. Tie for 9th. They're 1-1 with Dig already. Get out of that 10th place spot. It's a possibility, but they've got to make that run.
Take some team by surprise. You haven't really seen what this team now can bring with their champion pools. It could be a possibility.
Totally can be.
So unfortunately for the Renegades, even with the addition of Seraph and Ninja, they find themselves at the bottom of the unofficial Primetime League North American Power Rankings. While the Renegades beat Dignitas 2 weeks ago, they have fallen behind the bot lane outer turret and the Rift Herald. Meanwhile, Team Liquid is sitting in the middle of the pack, hoping a solid week 8 can lock in a postseason berth. But before Team Liquid gets to prove themselves on the Rift, they have to face the ultimate test of teamwork, also known as Duo Q.
Hello everyone, it's time for Duo Q, where we test the players' synergies off and on the Rift here. Now joining me from Team Liquid is top laner Lorlo and jungler Dardoch, of course in their wonderful Liquid uniforms. And on the other side, they're going to be up against the caster synergy of Zyrene and Rivington. Also, by the way, in uniform, matching vests and ties. Very, very sharp, gentlemen.
Wasn't planned.
I know. But you're just that on point. I dig it. I dig it. It's going to be great. So, guys, welcome to the show, of course. Now, you guys, at this point, I think know the rules about how this one works. We're going to ask you guys questions about each other. So, junglers, go take Gromp or something. Go ward mid lane. Just get out of here. You're not important in the slightest. Just leave. Just leave. Just thank you. All right, so now that we have the important players here, a support and a top laner, of course, the most skilled players in League of Legends, let's get ourselves into question one. First off, we'll start with you, Lorlo, here. What is your teammate's hidden talent?
Hidden talent? Yeah. Can, like, innately trolling be a hidden talent?
Innately trolling is a hidden talent?
Yeah.
Sure.
All
you know what? Innately trolling. I'll give you that one.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Riv, what is Zyrene's hidden talent?
Well, it's technically not hidden anymore.
Okay.
It's dancing.
Dancing is his now revealed talent?
Yeah.
What instantly tilts your teammate?
Dying early game. Everybody dying early game.
Dying early game tilts Zyrene?
Everybody dying early.
All right, Lolo. What tilts Dardoch? Instantly.
Instantly.
I mean, you can just say you.
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
Actually, it's your answer.
It's me. It's me. Me talking.
Is it just you or you talking?
Just do me.
Just you.
Yes,
All right. You instantly tilt Dardoch. Great.
He'll get that right.
All right.
There's no way he won't.
There's no way he gets it wrong. I'm quoting you on that, by the way, but he gets it wrong. All right. Third and final question. What's Dardoch's idea of a perfect first date?
Perfect first date? Oh. A trip to Shinsengumi.
Okay. with confidence. Riv?
Going full troll with this one.
Going full troll. Well, it probably is on the right page for that one. Perfect first date for Zyrene.
A trip to Jeju Island.
Okay. You guys have interesting answers, and maybe you're right. You know what? We'll see if that ends up being the case, guys. Thank you very much. We've got your answers, so we're going to bring out your teammates and see how correct they were. Welcome back, junglers. We asked your teammates some questions about you, and it's time to get your answers. So, Liquid, we'll start with you guys. Dardoch, I asked Lorlo, what is your teammate's hidden talent?
Oh, God.
He answered right away, by the way. He did not have to think about this one.
Come on.
How does he know you better than you know you?
Don't tell me, come on. I don't
You got the two personalities and all.
Oh, maybe I have two voices?
Oh my God. You are, I mean, just flip it up. Like, it's.
What is it?
Yeah, it's trolling.
Oh. Whatever.
Hidden?
The best talent you have is obviously trolling.
That's not hidden at all.
Well, then blame him for answering the question badly. Yeah, I know. Garbage, right? All right.
We tried.
Zyrene, what is your hidden talent according to Riv?
Dancing.
Oh, Caster's up 1-0, Liquid. What now? I'm taking credit, by the way, if you guys win. Because, you know, we're on the same team. Okay. Second question. What instantly tilts your teammate? What would Riv say about you?
Send over the mine bullets.
What instantly tilts you, Zyrene?
Ragers.
No, flip it, flip it, flip it.
You don't got this one?
It's dying early game.
Ah.
Does that tilt you?
Me dying?
Yeah.
He'll always be like, hey, we're gonna play games. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna bring my fiance and some other people. They'll be like, oh, it'll be fun, that's great. And then we start dying early.
When they die early.
And then
I die early.
gets
They die early.
really quiet for some reason. It doesn't sound like fun anymore.
Early game, I'm like, 30 seconds, I'm gonna be top lane. And it's like, I'm still clearing my red, and I hear somebody die. It's like, don't say anything.
All right.
Got nothing nice to say.
Well, Dardoch, what instantly tilts you according to Lorlo?
Come on. Goes good with the first one.
What would Lorlo answer for you?
It's impossible.
That's your answer?
No.
Okay. I like how you got to like say an answer and just be like, just kidding, I didn't say.
I'm on tilt.
I didn't see the reaction I wanted. My teammate.
Whatever the millionaire question is. Come on. Here we go. You had like this whole time to think about it.
When someone messes up 2v1, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, speaking of who would mess up a 2v1, Lorlo.
I don't know. What is it?
Actually,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
be the one messing it up.
There's too many variables.
That's too indirect.
All right, well, sadly, you guys are terrible at this game
It's
so far.
impossible. There's too many variables.
There's too many. All right, well, unfortunately, that one was wrong. So we come to our third question. Castles are up 1-0 so far. You guys are doing the worst I've ever seen a team do in this game.
Yeah.
You actually watched the show, by the way. You told me this, so I mean, this is really shameful. Dardoch, according to Lorlo, what is your idea of a perfect first date?
What?
Come on, you got this. You got
How predictable is this?
this. Have you seen my other answers, man?
I've got one. I've got an idea,
All
but
right.
I'm not sure how on or off it is.
You got to go with it, man.
Oh,
You got to go with it. It's going to be better than whatever else you say.
Throw it out.
honey me. No?
So close. Oh, I should have done honey.
Yeah, honey me.
Oh, honey would have.
This one's his fault.
Nearby restaurant, basically?
It's not my fault.
Yeah. Oh,
That,
honey me
that's
would've
just
so
like
good.
a ramen place, but honey me's like
Yeah.
ice cream or something.
Oh, okay, yeah. So ice cream
It's
instead
like
of
the
ramen. Yeah,
two
who would go
places
to ramen instead of ice cream, dog? I mean, Lorlo, maybe that's your
Yeah,
first. It's fine. You know, it's okay. So
Mm.
0 points,
I always
Casters.
say, dude, you're a clown without the.
You're already up 1-0. But according to Rivs, Irene, what is your idea of a perfect first date?
League and chill.
Nope.
Yeah, that would have been a sick answer.
That would have been a sick answer. No hesitation.
That face, though.
All right, so
The
we
what
got a
is
pretty
this
good
face?
Jeju Island, baby.
What's Jeju Island?
Korea's honeymoon island.
Which is basically League and Chill at that point. Do you consider it's Korea?
Were my questions?
All right, well, guys.
I was that good at memeing.
As much as that question was terrible, you guys do, of course, win this 1-0. However, we will have a second round, so don't worry. We'll have 3 more questions per side with the players swapped. We'll have that later in the show.
So while Freak changes out of that silly frilly shirt, let's zoom in on this week's Know the Pro. On Tuesday, LOL Esports tweeted out these sculpted muscular folds with an outer membrane that bounds the mouth anteriorly. If you knew those muscular folds belonged to Energy starting support and duo queue champion Conquan, then damn, your vision is probably better than his. Despite teammates and fans correctly identifying those lips as belonging to Energy's support, Conquan thought they actually belonged to Impact. But while he might need more vision on his own visage, the LCS rookie takes vision of the Rift very seriously, actually. Conquan leads all LCS players across both leagues in wards per minute. Take notes. Conquan places more than 55 wards per game and has spent almost 16,000 gold on pink wards alone this spring. That's ridiculous. You can watch Conquan battle the fog of war when Energy takes on Dardoch and Lorlo and Team Liquid in the North American Match of the Week this Sunday.
Welcome to Primetime League's Fantasy Minute, now with 150% more fantasy minutes for the same low price. Let's start with players who will be wearing a backpack for your team, like the Redora the Explorer. First up, Jensen, highest fantasy points per game of any player. Everyone should have Jensen in their league, and he's playing Impulse and Renegades. His point total is going to be so high, like his teammate in the support role. Of course, playing against some easy teams as well on Cloud9, but Hai's actually a really good fantasy point earner for supports. He should be on your roster as well. Get him in there. And finally, another player who's doing quite well in this season is the H2K jungler, Yankos. He is quite awesome. He's the 3rd place jungler in fantasy points per game, meaning every league should have him in there. He's against Rocket this week, who gives up a lot of fantasy points to junglers as well. And overall, this guy should be starting in every single league. Converse, the duds. Let's talk about people who should probably be going off the bench. We talked about Vitality some time ago, but let's talk about him again. Kasing is in a lot of these leagues. 80% own, 60% start, but he's the 9th best support, which means he shouldn't be starting basically at all. Drop him, find a better support. Vitality do not score a lot. Let's move over to the other side of the pond over in North America, because first off, we're talking about top laner Impact here on Energy. Look, he's a good player, but fantasy is about matchups and points to be earned. They are up against Immortals and Liquid. Neither are good matchups for Energy. Last time he played these teams, he got 8 and 6 points, which is really terrible for top laner. One last player, his teammate in the mid lane, GBM, against someone else to be concerned about. Great player, not great matchups. 17 expected points from him. If you look at what they played last time, not good. Put him on the bench for now. Find another mid laner. And speaking of new mid laners, really unfortunate news, but Power of Evil will not be playing this week in the European LCS. We hear he's going to be sick, probably for both games. So he will be out. If for some reason you're still playing Origin members, do not play Power of Evil. Xpeke will be filling in. If you need a mid laner, you can go for it. If you think it's going to be lightning in a bottle, then maybe Origin does magically well with Xpeke. It's unlikely, but it's up to you. It's your choice. But this has been your PTL Fantasy Minute. Good luck this week.
It is hard to believe there are only 2 more weeks of LCS games before the playoffs start. But you know what they say about temporal perceptions achieving lift and its direct relation to large quantities of enjoyment, right? Of course. That means time has been moving like Jin walking uphill with a sprained ankle for Elements, who are eliminated from the Spring Split playoffs. Well, guaranteed Spring playoff teams G2, Vitality, H2K, and Unicorns of Love, it's more like a Rammus ball with Swifties going through a J-skate with Zillion speed up on top of home guards. Man, Obi-Wan and Einstein couldn't be more right. Well, whatever your perception of space-time currently is, it's now time for our European LCS BF match of the week, featuring first place Vitality taking on first place G2 Esports. A lot of firsts. Thursday's Clash of Titans features a clash of playstyles as Vitality and the Unkillable Comp battles the hyper-aggressive YOLOs known as G2.
The hyper-aggressive YOLOs. All right, so these guys did play before back in Week 5. Vitality won that one, so history could repeat itself in their favor. But honestly, that game was a little bit weird. G2's drafting was suspect. They tried to balance the number of power picks properly, but they still gave away Gangplank, Corki, and Fiora altogether. Nukeduck ended up going really well on that Gangplank 415 for him, so some issues to fix certainly on one side.
Barrels of fun. While the mid lane battle between Nukeduck and Perkz should be epic, it's actually the tussle in the top lane that we want to focus in on.
Yeah.
In the blue corner is Cabochard, the best marksman and true carry for Vitality, while in the other corner is the converted jungler and his pool of support top lane champs, Kikis.
It's really interesting. These guys could not be more different as far as players go. They've both done great. They've been key champions and players for their teams. But Cabochard, he leads the LCS tops in KDA. He also, Kikis isn't far behind. Of course, he's at third. But what's really interesting is what actually happens here between these players. Cabochard plays carries. Kikis plays tanks and supports. Cabochard is tied for the most kills with Huni. Kikis is tied for the most assists with Odoamne. Cabochard's most played champions are Graves and Fiora. Kikis' most played champions are Poppy and Malphite. But it works, right?
That's pretty good.
Trick gets supported. Cabochard carries people. It works out. They're both very good teams, of course.
It's going to be, first is first. What more can you ask for? So while G2 and Vitality have owned the top of the table for most of the Spring Split, the dream of matching Fnatic's perfect summer died a while ago. But it was only 2 weeks ago the quest for perfection died for 3 other teams. The week before IEM, North America's Immortals and the ChiaoGu Reapers from the LPL and the LMS's AHQ all lost for the first time in the split. So far in to have gone so far in that.
I know.
Oh. So close. They all seem, Immortals didn't seem like it meant that much when they did, but it's always nice to get those wins. So in the case of AHQ, that loss came during a series split against 5th place Hong Kong Esports. While the match is a tie and not a loss, it was the first Baron and first Nexus AHQ had given up in 2016 as well.
Yeah, at least it was the first single game given away. Of course,
Right.
They are still the best team in the LMS. Of course, AHQ are hard to catch here. They can drop individual games, but once it comes to playoffs, these guys are the heavy favorites.
Yeah, it's going to be scary.
Again, I would like to see them at IEM, honestly, but we will see some team from the LMS at MSI. If it's not HQ, it's a team that could dethrone them, which means they're worthy competitors as well. And so I'm just excited to see what comes out of this region, because they had 2 Worlds quarterfinalists at Worlds. Now we can see what they do here.
And always focused on Westdoor now with the change-up. That's all I keep going back to, but I want to see it internationally.
Yeah.
So while the LMS is pretty much the same way we left it a couple weeks ago, a lot has changed in the LPL since the last time we met. Previous to MSI, ChiaoGu and Royal Never Give Up met in a match of the top teams in China. RNG won that match and did a little bit better at IEM than their Group A counterparts.
Yeah, so suddenly Group A and Group B are much tighter, with really only the Reapers. Now only one came up on Snake, and Snake actually getting a lot of fans actually so far. They're a pretty good team as well. Royal actually tied with Invictus in Bravo Company, and honestly, there's 5 weeks to go before playoffs. They're going to go back into intra-group play each other again. You can see how they settle out here, but these groups are up for grabs. And improving and gaining some wins at the end of the split, still totally possible. 5 weeks is a lot of time in China.
Yeah.
And so we'll see who actually ends up going.
Speaking of regional powers, last but certainly not least in our regional roundup is the LCK, home of the IEM champs and 7th place SKT T1. Early this morning in Korea's BF match of the week, the 2nd place Jin Air Green Wings took on the 2nd place KT Roasters. And logically, a 7th place SKT is better than any other region in the world. This must have been basically a match between the 2nd best teams in the world. And in that match, the Jin Air Green Wings continued to fly high during their surprise spring split, taking out KT Roaster in 2 straight games. That means with the LCK's BF match of the week in our BF match history book, the LCK standings stack up like this. ROX Tigers remain the only team to have won every match they have played, and they're probably going to keep doing it. Jin Air is now alone in 2nd place, while IEM World Champs are now in 7th place after Longzhou Gaming took out the One Eye Monsters on Wednesday morning.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Duo Q. It's time for round 2 where we swap the players, and look at that, we've now got the junglers here in the studio, obviously the more skilled players, am I right? And we've got 3 new questions as well. So let's get this right away. Of course, Liquid, you're down 1 point to 0 already, but you can still come back here. We started with you last time, so I'm gonna start with you, Irene, now. What skill shot does your teammate, Riv, always miss?
Thresh hook.
Thresh hook, hard answer.
Shenton.
Shenton.
100%.
100% Shenton is what Lola always misses. All right, next question then.
Oh, can I?
Well, sure. You know what?
God.
No, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
What do you change?
Narw.
Narw
That's what he's
instead?
gonna answer.
Okay.
He misses Shenton 100%, but he's gonna answer Narw because it's like more
Mega
recent,
Narw
more
actually always
recent.
misses.
It's,
Okay.
He uses it incorrectly because we want him to use it after ulti, but he just throws it out randomly trying to catch someone in the front line.
Nice.
Yeah, so we just tell him like,
Sick.
yeah, just cut it out.
Okay, so maybe he'll get better at some point.
Yeah.
Now we know, by the way, all the internal turmoil on the team. Okay, so next question up. What is Lorlo's most diva-like attribute?
Diva.
Diva. You know what that means, right?
Yeah, I know, but I can't like describe it without like using the profanity word. Like he's a, and then you know, like that word.
Great.
Yeah, but
Yeah, go for it. We'll bleep it out.
his most deep. Yeah,
I mean, like, we can just edit this, right? So.
yeah, he's just a dude. I don't know how else to explain
He's
it.
just a All right. Diva-like quality
Diva-like
from Rivington.
quality. I really don't think Riv is a diva at all. I think he's.
So he's just not a diva.
I think he's a team player.
Riv is not a diva, is Zyreen's answer. Damn. Look at that synergy. He's got his back, Dardoch. Just letting you know about that.
I've got his back, but I gotta keep it real with him.
You gotta keep it real. All right, with that 0 proper answers, by the way. Maybe you'll get one. Finally, last up, here's Zyreen. Which champion does your teammate find most attractive?
Oh, God.
Could be Gnar.
Yeah, there's no way. I don't think he's in the
I'm gonna say Ari.
Ari?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just pick one. Or none, yeah. You should be like, you know what? He doesn't go for league girls.
None.
None.
Has to be
none of them.
All right.
Not his
It
style.
has to be none. Has to
Not his style.
If he
All
says
right.
something, he's just instantly just a weep. There's no going back if he answers something, dude.
Okay, well, there's the answer, nothing. Thank you very much, guys. Gonna bring your teammates back, and we'll see how you did. It's not looking good for you, Dardoch.
It's not.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Riv and Lorlo are now here to hopefully get some answers right. To remind everybody, the score is 1-0 to the Riot Casters. Liquid doing worse than the beginning of your season in the LCS. So first off, we're gonna start with the questions here. Zyreen, I'll start with you and Riv, of course. I asked Zyreen, what skill shot does Riv always miss? What did he answer?
Wow.
Yeah. What does he not have faith in you with? What do you always miss? Or what does Zyreen think you always miss? Tell me an interpretation, dog.
Lantern.
Oh, right champion, wrong skill, flip it up. The hook. Now the thing is, he told
I couldn't
me,
admit that I missed that!
yeah, Zyreen was like, well, he doesn't actually miss that, but
No!
yeah. No belief in the teammate. Lorlo, what does Dardoch think you basically
said it.
suck? What skill shot do you always miss? Dardoch had an answer for us.
Nautilus hook?
Oh man, that's not even in the same ballpark. Dog, flip that up. It's Narw. At first he was like Shenton, and he's like, no, this one for sure. He's got this. It's definitely. Yeah, really crappy. Okay. All right, moving it forward.
So easy.
Still 1-0.
Easy.
Fifth question in a row, Team Liquid. Here we go. What is your teammate's most diva-like attribute?
Whoa. Very, very generic answer from me.
Hey, you're like, no, do it.
What?
I'm just saying. You're kind of not supposed to talk, to be honest.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay.
I didn't know about that.
You might still get it wrong, even with the
He's going to get it wrong anyway. Where's 0-4? 0-5.
Yeah. Before it even happens.
Yeah, it's over.
What is it? Come on, just go for it.
Bleh.
Say it. Just say it.
I don't.
Just say it.
Diva-like attribute?
Yeah.
Right? Sassy? I don't fucking know.
Nope. Dardoch thinks you're a. He had that right away, by the way. He was like, I know exactly what I want to say.
Can we like just keep that sign?
Yeah. Just put that up like during the LCS, by the way. Gank top didn't work. All right, same question here to you, Riv. What did Zyrene say about your most diva-like attribute?
I don't know kind of how to say it. It's like, I always think I'm right.
Well, unfortunately, this time you're not. Irene thinks you're a perfect gentleman.
This last
You're
one.
not a diva. All right,
I think
yo.
you're always right.
Oh, that's
Thanks,
very
Zyrene.
sweet of you.
You always
This guy, that's why I picked
We can
him.
go for the time.
The victim.
No, that's why I picked him.
All right.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But I
Oh,
can't
right.
go out
Okay.
with this
So here's the last
until
question
after 6.
for you guys, Riotcasters. Riv, I asked Irene, which champ does your teammate find the most attractive?
All right.
He just said.
All right.
fucking looked at
So there's only a certain amount of champions.
Yeah, 100 and change.
Gonna go ahead and have to switch over to the busty one, so ruling it out. Maybe a,
So Grags is still in the mix.
yeah, that's true. He does have a nice flash engage.
Sign.
Yeah.
Got
So I'm gonna go with Fiora.
no!
Oh, she is a fox.
Yeah. All right. So, hey, you guys are stuck at 1 point since Zyrene failed miserably.
You're gonna be tied.
You guys can tie right here.
Let's go.
This is easy, right?
These are just
Dardoch
false hope answers. I
was
want you to
asked.
feel like you almost had it and then drink your tears.
He thinks he
Can I get a
knows
cup?
it's
Oh,
easy.
What
Cheers.
champ does your teammate find most attractive? According to Dardoch. Lorlo.
Nidalee?
Oh, man. You guys are miserable. You got 6 questions. Yeah, he didn't know. He's like, I got no idea. I'll just hit blank slate.
Why do you
Right, casters!
Why are you attracted to champions? What's wrong with you?
All right, guys, thank you very much. Liquid 0-6. Riot,
you're not
I guess
attracted.
technically you did win. You got 1 question right out of the 6, so congratulations.
Come on, man.
We're the best. We own it. Here we go.
Probably look
Now,
scripted.
sure, whatever. Okay, well, anyway, guys, thank you very much. Lolo and Dardoch, Riv, Zyrene, thank you guys so much for taking all your time with this one. Of course, the NALCS is happening again this week, where Liquid's going to take on CLG and Energy Esports as they make their final push to hold on to that playoff spot. See you then. Hey everyone, sadly I've had to downgrade my wardrobe from Duo Q. Apparently it was too flashy for Twitter, but that's okay. It's time for the Primetime League Twitter question of the week, where it only takes 1 character to let you know what's going on in the world. 2 weeks ago, we asked you which Week 7 LCS game will have the highest combined team gold total. And for a chance at the Hall of Fame, we wanted you to guess exactly what that gold total would be, or at least within 1,000. Well, the answer to the question was the epic battle between Giants and Hugs 2K in the European LCS, with 171.8 thousand gold amassed among those 2 teams. Now, sadly, there were no tweets with that proper answer, but hey, look, even Midas had his off days, so don't worry about it. We'll get it again next week. Okay. This week's question with some backstory. Baron Power Play is a measure of how much gold difference a team accumulates while buffed up by it. This counts the actual gold from the Baron itself. Of course, it can vary quite greatly, but it starts at 1525 from the global gold and the 25 for last hitting it, and it goes up or down from there. For some context, Spring Split, best Baron Power Play so far has been 88-23 gold by Immortals when they crushed CLG. The worst was C9 when they got crushed by CLG, losing 24-96 despite getting Baron at the start. As you can see, CLG giveth, CLG taketh away. Either way, CLG clearly biased in some way. Anyway, that got us thinking about this week's Twitter question. We want to know which LCS team will have the biggest Baron power play in this week's games. For a chance at Hall of Fame, also tell us how much gold that power play will be worth within 100. So I'm going to go with Immortals and 6,500 gold as my guess for this one. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I'm right. And if you're like me and you think this is finally the week you're going to get into the Hall of Fame and get a Twitter question right, then send your answers to @LoleSports, use the hashtag PTL, and get them in before Game 1 of the European LCS. So now while you're trying to figure out just how strong my daily Baron power play schemes are, got there eventually, check out these buffed up pro plays, or, as Shai Tamir and TSM's Double If can now call it, the Penta.
Coming in at number 5, Svenskaren's spidey senses led him straight into the enemy team.
That's right, Hanser coming up, getting taken down, though. Maze gets the kill. Whoa! Svenskeren goes on the crazy spider ride, and he can't quite get the kill before they get back to Fountain.
Oh,
here it comes.
baby. So he's going to actually rappel over to the lantern, and there's the second kill. Of course, the shield there blocking some of that damage. Svenskeren just gets trapped on the side.
Fnatic's Cly landed a perfectly timed hook onto CLG's Huhi in our number 4 play.
CLG trying to defend their mid lane turret. Now they're all there, but they're all pretty low health. They get the minion wave, though. Huhi nice gets grabbed. Yeah, nice hook right at the end of that ultimate. They're going to get the kill onto Pantheon. Cly, we've been a bit critical of his play, but that was a nice one right there.
Pouncing into number 3, KT's Score picked up a quadra kill.
마지막 그림이에요. 그림. 이준현은 피채웠어요. 와! 이렇게 되면 아니 근데 너무 무거운 애를 쳤어요. 아, 르블랑 쪼개지고요. 메이스도 못 도망갑니다. 뭐 이렇게 날아오는 게 많아. KT 진짜 완벽하게 깔끔하게 승리 굳혀갑니다. 노데스는 용서할 수 없다. KT.
At number 2, it was Spenu Sonic Boom's Flawless with the impeccable insect play onto CJ's Kramer.
Soul will get stunned out here with the concussive blows. Madlife trying to block as much as he can. Ace in the hole does get blocked by Unbreakable. Flawless goes deep. Insect kick goes Kramer.
Watch Flawless again. Follows the Resonating Strike flash onto Kramer.
And in our number 1 play this week, Doublelift pulled off a crazy pentakill.
Yellowstar flashes, gets hooked by Crazy, gets taken out, ever winning yet another team fight, unless Hanser can try to turn it around with that Fiora, but he's on his own. Key goes in there a little bit too deep, but they do trade. Bjergsen will ult himself. Hanser trying to zone Loken out. He's going to go over the wall. That's a good place to be away from a Fiora, but it is a double kill coming in from Doublelift. Doublelift grabs the triple. He's turning the spider in a big way. There's the quadra. Can he go for the penta? He's only got to kill Crazy. Crazy getting back to his turret. Hanser setting it up. Penta kill!
Just like Shy Tammer, if you see a big play, LCS or not, hit us up. Send those dirty dodges, 6 snipes, and bodying of all the fools to @LOL Esports. Use the hashtag #ThePenta and screen cap your contribution to esports education and entertainment.